All right, so let's talk about plural possessive nouns. This corresponds to D.1 in IXL. Let's go through kind of what this is all about, and then we'll go in and try to answer some questions together. So first of all, let's talk about plural and possessive. What is the difference? Or what is the distinction? Plural is the opposite of singular, right? Plural just means more than one. So singular might be dog, plural might be dogs. Okay, what is possessive? When somebody possesses something, they own it or they have it. So let's put ownership. And so for dog, you might have, let's see, what's something a dog can own? Maybe the dog's food, right? So the dog's food. Now, most kids know to put the apostrophe S to make it a possessive, but fewer know how to make this a possessive. Let's say the two dogs' food. And that's kind of what this one is all about. How do we make plural words possessive? And the short answer is put the apostrophe there after the S. But there are lots of exceptions, and we need to know how to conjugate those as well. For example, woman, the woman's dress. But what's the plural for woman? It's not woman's, right? So it's women. So what do you do here? Do you do the women's dress? Well, no, we just learned we need to do it after the S for plurals, right? But that's wrong. So how do you differentiate here? And there's all sorts of other irregulars too, right? I mean, plural for ox, oxen. Plural for foot, feet. Child, children. And some more frequent ones like baby. I say frequent, but I guess more orthodox, I guess. Children, I think there are only 3 words in the English language that are plural with an EN, which is left over from Old English, and I think those are the only 3. Somebody might correct me if I'm wrong there. But words like baby conjugated to babies is a little bit more common. But still, the babies, bottle, versus what do you do here? Say babies, bottle? And so we need a rule here, or a set of rules to be able to conjugate these correctly, because the correct answer for this one is that. So let's get some rules that we can apply. Rule number 1, and these won't make a lot of sense the first time I go through them, but we're going to try to apply these rules, and hopefully through application it'll make more sense. So rule number 1, or step number 1 I should say, is you should write the word in question as a singular or plural based on context. Okay. 2, if the word in question is possessive, add an S. And 3, if there are 2 S's at the end of the word, take one away. Okay, so let's actually try to apply this, and hopefully through application it'll make more sense. Let's see, the dog's tail was wet. Okay, so the word in question is this guy. How do we conjugate that? So, step 1, write the word in question as a singular or plural based on context. Well, how many dogs are we talking about? 1. And the singular for dogs is just dog. So let's write dog. Okay. If the word in question is possessive, add an S. He's possessing his tail, right? So we'll add the apostrophe S. And I should put that in an apostrophe S. Let's make this clear. What if I did this? Okay. Now, if there are two S's at the end, take one away. And in this one, there are not two S's at the end. So we're done. Let's try one where we do have two S's. The two dogs' tails are wet. Okay. So the word in question here is dogs. So first, let's write the word in question as a singular or plural. Well, this is two dogs, so we've already got it written correctly as a plural based on the context. Now, if the word in question is possessive, add apostrophe S. Now, if there are two S's at the end of the word, let's take one away. And there's your answer. So we've gotten this answer through using that rule. Let's try it with this one. The woman's dress let's see, is red. Okay, question, or the word in question is woman's. Let's rewrite it and let's make sure we write woman as either a singular or plural. So it'll either be this or it'll be that. Okay, how many women are there? Well, there's just one. So we're going to write it like that. Okay, step 2. If the word in question is possessive, add an S. Yeah, she is possessing, or she has a dress. Okay. And if there are two S's, take one away. Okay, we don't need to. There aren't two S's. What about this? Okay, this is our word in question. So we have two. So let's just write the word in question as a singular or plural. Let's write it as a plural. Okay. Step 2. If the word in question is possessive, add an S. They possess dresses. If there are two S's at the end, take one away. There are not two at the end. Great. So that's how we got that. What about babies? Let's do that one. Okay, let's see what we can do here. The word in question is babies. So first, let's write that word in question. Oops. Write that word in question as the singular or plural it is. Well, this is a singular, so let's write baby. Okay, if it's possessive, add an apostrophe S. And if there are two S's at the end, take one away. There are not two at the end. Let's see if I can fit some more here. Oops. How about this? The two babies bottles are old. Okay, so let's take the word in question. Let's rewrite it. As the plural. The plural for babies is that. Two babies bottles. Okay, but then we need to add the S if it's possessive, which it is. Oops. And if we have two S's at the end, which we do, take one away. And we have our answer. That's why that one's not being auto-corrected by word. Okay. So let's take the last few minutes here and see if we can get some of the examples done. Sheep's ages are generally determined by the number and condition of their teeth. Sheep's. Okay, well the plural for sheep is sheep. So step 1 is write it as it's supposed to be. Was it generally determined? Yeah. Okay, so first, this is the one in question, so let's write it as a plural. Plural for sheep is just sheep. Okay, if it's possessive, they own their ages. We're going to add apostrophe s, and we take it away if there's more than one. Okay, for ages, okay, there are plural ages, so we're going to do that. And if it's possessive at an s, well, no, they don't. It's not possessive. The ages don't have anything. The sheeps have ages, but the ages, yeah, no go. Another way to tell is if the verb, if there's a verb after the noun, you know it's not possessive. So this should be their correct answer. Sheep's ages. Okay. The Arcadia geese's food supply. Let's just do this. The geese's food supply. Okay, so this is the word in question. Okay, so that's plural. What's the plural for goose? Geese. So let's just write it like it's supposed to be, because that's step one. Write the word as a singular or plural based on context. Now if it's possessive, add apostrophe s. And then if there are two s's, take it away. And there are not. So that should be it. Danny is planning a month-long vacation to Italy next summer. To prepare for the trip, he is taking language lessons with his wife's Italian grandmother. Okay, the lessons don't own anything, so that should be relatively easy. But his wife's grandmother. Let's clear some space here. Okay, so write the word in question as a singular plural. Okay, well, it's one wife. So his wife, grandmother. And then the wife owns something. So we're going to do that. And that's the way we'll conjugate it. Some people might have the tendency to try to do like that, but wife is how you'd write the singular. Okay, Frank Lloyd Wright's Falling Water, featured on Time magazine's cover. Okay, we can try to skip ahead here. Or try to just do a shortcut here. So there's magazine, there's only one magazine, and it owns something. So first you'd write magazine, and then you'd add apostrophe s because it owns something, and there are not two s's. Designed several well-known buildings such as Kennedy Library and the Glass Pyramid at the Louvre. Chinese architects. So the architects influenced. So we have one architect. So we write it like that. He owns or has an influence. So we do that, and there are not two s's. While wolves seldom attack humans, humans don't own anything, so we're just going to write it as a plural. They do prey on farm animals and thus are among a farmer's worst enemies. Well, how many farmers are we talking about here? It's a singular. So we'd write farmer, and then the farmer has enemies. So we do apostrophe s, there are not two s's. Many students' ability to pay for college is limited. So many, we need to write students, because that's plural. We'd add the apostrophe s because they have an ability, but then we have two s's, so we take the s away. However, universities' financial aid packages. How many universities? Well, let's make it plural. Okay, and then they have packages, so we could do that, but then there are two s's. So to summarize, step one is to write the word as a singular or plural. That's step one. Step two is to add the apostrophe s if it's possessive, and step three is if there are two s's at the end, take one away. Okay. Hope this was helpful. Let me know if you have any questions. Thanks.